reflect and pray or think of those less fortunate than us, especially two of our club members who lost loved ones recently, Wally Kerr and Craig Heath. Thank you. Thank you. Jim will lead us in the flag salute, and Alice is going to lead us in the four-way test.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me in the four-way test.
Is it the truth?
Is it
Fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And since spring break, will it be fun? You may be seated. We have a little one here. We're not going to introduce her, but Kyle brought his daughter with them today. Thank you for joining us today.
We don't want to embarrass her.
No, we don't.
So I shouldn't say it's quite possibly the cutest guest we've ever had. Now we're children, a little bit children.
Yes.
We have a guest for possibly one more week. Jillian Bond is with us, and if you look on the back side of the newsletter, down at the bottom, we have submitted her name for membership. So, if you haven't said hi, go over and say hi at some point and get to know this lovely lady. Look forward to having you. Thanks.
Thank you for that. And then we do not have any student of the month because it's spring break week. So I'm going to skip on to quote of the day. I actually have two today. One is be the inspiration. The other one is don't let anything hold you back, especially your mind. We have quite a few announcements today. First of all, also on your sheet, we have that it's Rotary after hours tonight. So please plan to join us at Sooner Daiquiri on Main Street. It'll be super fun. They have delicious food, a full bar, but also frozen cocktails too. And it's from 5 to 7. So please join us, stop in, stay a while, and bring a friend if you like. So also March 29th, which is on the front of your newsletter. Lots already on the newsletter today, but is a district assembly. We would love to have several people from our club attend. I sent an email about this last night. It's great training, learn more about Rotary. It's just really wonderful, and you get to meet with other people from other clubs in our district. And so it's a fun time. It's an art warm, and they also have delicious food there. So it's worth coming to just eat if you're not coming for any other reason, I guess. And then May 3rd and 4th, different from the district assembly, we have our district conference, and that's in Duncan. And that's a Saturday. We normally have a nice party on Saturday night, dinner and party Saturday night, and then we finish up on Sunday morning. It's fun as well. It's more of a celebration of what our district and our clubs have been able to accomplish for the year. So that's very exciting. And my other announcement I left on my table, one second. Mr. McCowan, can I have you come to the front, please? Today we had a board meeting and the board approved our 2025-26 slate of officers and board of directors, and I don't have printouts for the whole entire club today, but we do need to present it to the club, which is what we're gonna do. Since the board approved it, we're gonna present it to the club, and you're gonna vote yes or no. So, Liz McCowan is president, Jamie Swain, president-elect, Liz past president, Stephen Crandall, secretary, Steve Woods, treasurer, Michael Stinnett, sergeant at arms, Dennis Brigham, those are the officers, and then board of directors is Dennis, Jenny, Charlie, Joan, Joe, Craig, Alice, Kurt, Dan Shim, Deanna Kelly, Shauna Stinnett, Randy Woods, and that's our slate for 25-26. Do I have a motion for approval from the club?
So moved.
Second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Motion carries. Okay, thank you very much. Here you are. All right. Good. Great job, Liz. That's all I have for announcements. We will be presenting some red badge talks, the first and third weeks coming up. We have several new members that you need to get to know more, and we're excited for that to happen, so, please stay tuned for those coming up. Also, if you have any, if you've done all your tasks on your red badges, please make sure you let Stephen Coranda know, and he will get you your blue badge. Mine's yellow because I'm an officer, but you'll get a blue badge. So remember the membership packet you got, for newer members, make sure you're going through that and checking things off, so we can get you a blue badge. And with no further ado, I'm gonna just turn it over to, Stephen Crane's gonna introduce? Oh, okay. No, Kyle Hurley, you guys want up? Yes. It's gonna be a great meeting today, y'all enjoy your lunch.
All right, good afternoon. We get this pulled up. So basically what we're going to do, and we've done this in years past, where people come back from pets and then kind of do a presentation on things, just like, hey, here's what we learned, here's what we're kind of thinking about getting into a president year. So Liz and I are going to tag team this. I'm going to do a little bit of the background on pets for those who are not aware of it or have not been, and then she's going to talk about her experience as she just completed her second round at PETS. So when it comes so PET stands for, because you probably hear that quite a bit, President-elect Training Seminar. And it's not just in PETS, it is the Lone Star PETS, and so this occurs at the Hyatt Regency at DFW every late February to early March. So just kind of a show of hands, how many, because we have a lot of past presidents in the room, how many people have been to PETS? Great. So, but we've been doing Lone Star PETS because we joined the 9 other districts. Good. Here we go. Okay, so Lone Star PETS formed in 1989, and so there are 9 Texas districts that helped form it, and then in the early 2000s, with the help of David Shirley and the Cinder Club, we joined the Lone Star PETS. So, prior to that, Dennis, I'm calling you out, what did we do before that? Did we just kind of do our own, or did we go with 5750?
We did our own. The one I did as club president was at the technical center in Frank Colford.
Okay, so we've done our own, and we went up there to the, like more normal?
Yeah.
Okay, did things, all right. The nice thing about doing it with Lone Star PETS, they've been doing it a while, it is the largest PETS assembly in the world, because there are 10 districts. There's other multi-district PETS that are done, and so we were hearing some people who are down there who like work for Rotary, who are like bouncing back and forth between several of them. There was like one in Boston, they were doing one in California, one up like by the Great Lakes and stuff. So, but this is the largest one in the world. Mission of PETS is to develop future Rotary Club presidents. It has a board and operating committee, and then the district governor-elects also assist with this. Okay. So it may be kind of hard to read, but if you take a look up here, you can see all of the different club banners, or excuse me, district banners that are up here. So I think in this particular one, I don't remember what the corner is, I'm not even going to risk it. But up in here, it looks like 5770 is third from the left. So we're the only full-blown Oklahoma district that goes to Lone Star PETS, which is a big deal. 5830, which is northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma, and I think there's one club in Arkansas, they also attend, but every time we show up, I proudly wear my Oklahoma district pin here, 5770, people are like, oh, Oklahoma's here, I'm like, that's right, and I'm teaching, so, get your pin out. So, there's always, every time I go, and I tell the folks this when we go down, I'm like, you're gonna run into a Texan who thinks they are the first Texan ever to say an Oklahoma joke to an Okie. Just run with it. So, anyway, and of course I always throw back the 4-way test and stuff, and we have a good laugh. So this is, we have anywhere between 600 and 700 in attendance at this. Again, it's at the Hyatt Regency. They do a lot of meetings and conventions there, and it is very well run. So just to kind of give you an idea of like some of the people who attend, this is, I mean, President-elect training is exactly that is the biggest audience, which is the President-elect. But we also encourage President nominees to come. And the reason I say that is because when you go as a President nominee and then as a President-elect, your President nominee year is like, hey, I don't have to be President this next year. So everyone is drinking from the fire hose when they go down to pets, and there's a lot of information. And so it's nice to be able to get it that first time, not having to worry about being president like that next year. And so that can also help you better assist your incoming president when you're going into that year. Then the second time you go down, then you're hearing like, oh yes, I've heard this stuff before. I feel like I'm better well versed in how to become a vibrant club, or on the foundation, or on public information and stuff. So, and this club has done a really good job of sending both the president nominee and the president-elect. So Liz just finished her second year, and so Liz Barfield, went 2 years. I didn't get to go 2 years because I had a conflict, and I thought I got to go once. So we have the president nominees, and then we also have assistant district governor training. So in this picture up here, we have Lady Phillips up there on the left. She works right across the street over here at Armstrong, and she is in the Legacy Club, and she is a assistant district governor in training, and so she will start this next year, and so she will have some clubs. She'll have 2 of the clubs here in Norman, and then she'll also have Newcastle and more. In the middle is Bill McGangus. Bill has been a district assistant governor for several years. He's out of the out of the Halls Valley Club, and so he has a lot of the clubs kind of in that area. And then on the very right is Tamara Holland. She served 2 terms as president in the Newcastle Club. She was the one who created the Newcastle Club, so she is a past president. And so we've identified some people who we think would be really good in these roles. I've been an assistant district governor. This is my 3rd and hopefully final year. So Tamara's going to be my replacement, and she will actually be this club's assistant district governor. So she will be working with Liz McCown during that year. And then she will have Laney's club, and Laney will have hers. So this is the first time for our district that we have sent so many people down to get trained as assistant district governors, who definitely play a vital role. And then as far as others who are present, we have a lot of facilitators on here. So this is Stephanie Macchia. She is a past district governor out of San Antonio. She's an attorney, and she was the operating chair for this year's Pets. She and I talked together for several years. She was the one running Pets. And we have a lot of different facilitators. We have the DGEs on there. We also have current and past district governors. And we get fantastic speakers, and several of them are international. We also get the RI president-elect, so we always get to see the person who's going to be president for the PE's president year. And so this past year, the RI president-elect, she was like, we all get to be presidents together, which I thought was a great phrase. And then we have the operating committee, and then you can kind of see in the background, Rob's doing a little photobomb here, but if you look at another photobomb in the back, we've got Wes Hall on our club, who is a ranger. So there's Wes, and so Wes does that every single year. The Rangers do an amazing job. They get there a day before everybody else, and they let everybody know where to go. They help coordinate the flow of traffic and stuff. They're basically there as a resource, and they do a fantastic job. As far as the timeline, how all this works is that beginning in the fall, actually things have already started, but in the fall is when things start going out to all the different districts, is the president-elects and the president nominees need to be notified, because this is going to be a 3 to 4 day trip, and, you know, people are working or have other obligations, and so it's good to plan these things in advance. In fact, the next several years worth of Lone Star Pets are already out. So you just go to the Lone Star Pets website, and that information is already out. So, Jamie, when you go down there for your second time, the dates are already there. You can put them down on your calendar. But in the fall is when the district governor elects, and so that will be Pat Fountain for us this next year. He's out of Ada, and so they will have to start reaching out to the different clubs to see who would want to be a facilitator, because each district should supply people who are going to train the PEs and the PNs. So they take all those facilitator discussions. And then in late January, we have facilitator training. So there's one in Seguin, Texas, and then there's also one at DFW. And then late February, we have the conference. So facilitator training, so for anybody who has anybody taught at Pets before? Anybody? So Dennis has, okay. So what we do is, and I was one of the lead facilitators this time, and so what we did was we split up the training into two different areas. One is Seguin, Texas, so a little bit more south for people who can make that. And it's just a half-day training. And then we have the other group meet at DFW. So what we do is we bring in the facilitators and we go over, here's what it's like to teach at Pets. Here's the curriculum. Let's talk about adult learning. And let's talk about some of the things that may go wrong. In other words, like if you have somebody who is not engaged, someone who is being disruptive, somebody who is answering every single question, you know, and hogging up all the time. How do you deal with those situations? All the time, remembering we're here to have fun, we're here to learn, 4-way test, you know, and everyone here's a volunteer. So we did facilitator training down at DFW. We had probably about 40 folks down there, good times. And then here's the actual pet schedule. So and this is a picture of our district from last year. So you may see some familiar faces in there. Right there in the middle is Carter Wade, who's out of Warwica. And so he is our current district governor. At the time, he was our district governor-elect. People show up on Thursday evening. And Wes and I had a unique experience because he's been doing this for several years, but I did this for the first time. You've done it 7 years, okay. So, and I'm talking about the train. You've done it 7 years? This is your 3rd year? Okay. So is anybody taking the train, taking that all the way down to Fort Worth, showing hands? So it actually was easy to book. It was like $25. But I was arriving at a different time as my wife, so she drives the car down on a Saturday. I took the train down. Wes has done this. We take the train from the depot over here down to Fort Worth, then just walk across the tracks, get onto another train, and that takes you all the way to the airport. So $25, easy. So anyway, the people start showing up on Thursday, and there's some evening sessions that go over a wide variety of topics. I always encourage people to see what's on here today, but there's one on getting to know the budget and working with your club treasurer. And then there's a number of other things on there that are really good. And then Friday, you start meeting with your districts, and that's where you begin your training. And I'll go over the curriculum here in just a little bit. And then from there, we have lunch, we have dinner, there's speakers, there's a lot of activities, there's a place called the House of Friendship where you can go buy a whole bunch of Rotary paraphernalia. So Liz, do you mind showing off your Rotary backpack that you got at Pets? Ooh, yes, very nice. You can get pins and stuff down there. And they've got Rotary outfits, paraphernalia, a lot of really good stuff down there. And then Saturday, so Friday with your districts, you go through 4 modules, A1 through 4, and then on Saturday, everybody gets shotgun throughout Pets, and now you're no longer with your district, you get put with everybody else. And you're with them basically all day. So got lunch, got dinner, and then we always have speakers every evening. The Rotary International President-elect will speak either Friday or Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning we have a district wrap-up. So here is, and it may be kind of hard to read, but this is the syllabus for Pets for the president-elects. President-nominees have a few more modules on there, but it starts up here with, you know, making yourself a vibrant club, about club membership, and we talk about the foundation. We are fortunate to have Bob Dill. Those of you who know Bob, he's in the Center Club. Bob's a wealth of information when it comes to the foundation, and so he always does the foundation presentation. And then we have some other things on here, such as like shining a spotlight on your Rotary Club, where we get into public image, getting on the website, getting in social media. So when I'm teaching that session, what I will do is, if I've got 20 different clubs in the class that I'm doing, I will get online like the night before when I know where all the clubs are, and I take a look at their website, and I take a look at the Facebook page, and then I will give them comments on how that looks and everything, because we have a whole session on shining a spotlight on your club. There's a lot of clubs that are not doing anything online, at all. So, because if you're trying to attract newer and younger members, where are they going to go? They're going to go to your website, they're going to go to your social media. So those are two things that need to be up to date. Okay. And then, so these are some of the groups that I've been with. So this was last year. So number of folks, you can see a leader right there in the middle. She's in the light blue. She is the current, and she's doing 2 years in a row, bless her. So she is the president and more. And then we've got over here, this was this year, this is Liz's friend Courtney, who was doing a presentation for us at the very end. So there's a lot of work that they're doing at the tables. We try not to talk a whole bunch because where a lot of the learning, we're just facilitators, and where a lot of the learning occurs is at the group level, because I learn something every single time I go down to pets. Because there is a club, there's going to be some small club in the middle of nowhere, Texas, that has a $200,000 campaign for something that I'm like, how did you do that? How are you all raising that much money doing this? And so we get great, fantastic ideas from folks. And then they will, come to me like, we don't know how to do a website. I'm like, oh man, website, that's easy. Let's talk about that. So we're all learning from each other. Great times. And then we also, so this was this year in our district meeting, and this was the Rotary International President-elect, Mario. I cannot say the rest of his name. He is from Brazil. He speaks Portuguese and 5 other languages. So he came in, and he actually spent about, 10 minutes with us or something, and he was absolutely fantastic. You would not know that he was primarily Portuguese and stuff, or that's what he speaks, because, his English was just flawless. But he'd also spent some time in the United States. I think he was up in Minnesota. Is that where he said he was? Yeah. Fantastic guy. And so I was like, all right, let's see if we can try to say welcome and good morning in Portuguese.
Bom dia.
But bunch of okie, so we could have used you up there. So we're using Google Translate, and in our best okie accent, we're like, bon dia, stuff. And he just laughed, and later I was like, hey, how's our Portuguese? He goes, I understood what you said. So I was like, I don't think that answers my question, but I hear you, sir. I hear you. So anyway, but he was fantastic, really good, energetic speaker, and he was just going around. Because a lot of the staff that work at the hotel are Hispanic, and so he was just switching between languages, seamlessly. Very impressive guy. So, and then we also had some other sessions here. So this one, something that we tried new. If you look kind of against the wall, that's David Imey. He is in the Cross Timbers Club. He was the president in the Center Club, and we had a panel discussion, so you will see Liz Barfield there. You will also see Deborah Valerio. She is the current president in Altus, and she will be an assistant district governor this next year. And then we also have Clark Souther. He is the president-elect for the Chickasha Club. And we had a panel discussion on membership. And the way we identified this was, why don't we have a panel discussion coming from the 3 clubs that are growing the fastest in our district? And those 3 clubs were all represented up there. So the Norman Rotary Club, Chickasha, and then also Altus. Altus is killing it down there. It's like, Altus is like, isn't that like a little small town? They've got probably about 75 members. Wow. So, yeah. Duncan, so we have the most number of members, followed by us is Duncan. They're probably in the low 80s. And then Altus is in the mid-70s. So doing really, really well. And also Ada Sunrise, they've also seen, they're probably about 40 members, but they have seen a lot of growth this year. So they've done really well. And then over here on the right is, that's just in my class, that's our lead ranger, what's his name, Ryan? Yeah, fantastic guy. So anyway, and then one of the things that we started, Connie Eckstein did during her DGE year, and it's carried on, is that the DGE presents the new banner and the theme for the next year to the incoming president-elects. So You can see Rob here with Patty Swink, and then Liz here with Carter, and then Liz McCown here with Michael Ridgway. Michael Ridgway is in the Center Club, and he will be our district governor starting in July. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Liz.
Thank you. Some of what I'm probably going to say to you is a little bit tagging on to Kyle, but I first want to say thank you to this club for investing in your future presidents. I've been twice, and I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity. When I accepted the president nominee position, I really didn't know anything about pets, which was apparent when I got down there the first year as president nominee. I really didn't know anybody well in attendance. I had great guidance from Liz and Kyle, but I didn't really know a lot of people. I didn't really know what to expect at all. Like I was told, you need to, when you have your large sessions and you're having a meal, don't sit with people that you already know. And I was like, what? I mean, that's normal, right? Like you look for familiar faces just for a comfort level in a big room of people. I was like, oh, okay. But it was great advice. I have shared that with several other people. But it gives you an opportunity to sit at a table with people from whose club is right on the border of Texas and Mexico. You learn things that you would not otherwise get a chance to learn, and it is a great way to get ideas, because one of the questions I asked as president nominee every time I sat down at a table, what do you do for a fundraiser? What do you do for membership? And it was interesting just to see the different types of things that people do for their clubs. I also didn't know that we take a picture with the Rotary International President-elect, and that you need a nice dress. I was like, I did not have that. But we managed, it was okay. I did the Thursday night sessions both times, which were helpful, and I enjoyed those. But I think you don't realize how much you don't know until you get there. So the first year, you're sitting there as a nominee, and Jamie may attest to this too. It is all kinds of information coming at you, and you're like, oh, notes. And so the first year is kind of about that. I think getting your feet wet, building enthusiasm, getting to know people, and I really cannot say thank you enough for sitting in as nominee. I think sometimes we might, why invest? Because that first year you're overwhelmed. The second year you get there, you're a little bit more confident about what to expect, the types of information that you're probably going to share as you are in your groups. But it allowed me to be a little bit more relaxed, and I could have taken the information a little bit better. Yes, so highly recommend going 2 years if you are interested in being president of this club. By the way, if you are interested in being president of this club, you should always let us know so that we know. I think one of the things that really came out of my first year at Pets, again, I said I didn't really know people very well, and I really didn't know Liz. We were acquaintances, we spoke, but I didn't really know Liz. And that gave us the opportunity to get to know each other and talk about what we wanted to see from our club and what our goals were. And surprisingly, they aligned very well. And I think we decided at that point, okay, we need to work together. I don't want to be thrown in my year and not be as prepared as I can be. And Liz has done a great job, including me. And oh my gosh, is an important, I think you're seeing that synergy here in the room now. And I also credit Pets with, having Liz truly become my friend. Not just an acquaintance, not somebody I see every week at Rotary, but truly a friend. And that is, that's enough, really. But, and I look forward to building my relationship and my friendship with Jamie as we work together over the next year. Just a comment on the daily schedule. The district day is fun. I think we take for granted that, we don't really think much about the clubs around us. We have 4 clubs in Norman, and I can honestly tell you, I'm embarrassed to say it, I have not visited any of those other clubs, visited Cross Timbers once in the last year. We should be doing better at that. There's some really cool people, we need to be getting to know them a little bit better. So the district day is fun and a great way to get to know the people that you are going to work with a little bit more. I think when we had attendance requirements, we managed to go visit other clubs, and now that we don't have the incentive that we did at one point to drive to Purcell or across town to Sooner Rotary. By the way, I'm originally a product of Sooner Rotary, so yes, that I would like more on that to come in the next year, but I would like to see us make more of an outreach effort to attend other clubs. Maybe as a group, so we're not just walking in solo. So district day is fun. I really enjoy both years I've been. Our Rotary International President-elect has visited the room, and if I'm understanding correctly, that doesn't happen with all the districts. So, we feel pretty special as the only Oklahoma district, and we get a visit from our incoming Rotary International President. Mario, I also will not attempt his last name, was really inspiring. I really enjoyed hearing him, what he had to say. He's kind of a no-nonsense guy, and tells you how it is. I appreciated knowing his background in Rotary. He was an exchange student at one point and lived in Minnesota for a couple of years. Still is in contact with his host family, and it's just nice to hear their stories. What was I going to say? Sorry. I made notes, and then I'm not going by them, so not helpful. So the first year's nominee, when you get to that second day, you're just split up. You don't know who's necessarily in your group. The first year, the president nominee from Sooner Club was in Sooner Rotary was in my group. And this year, I had a new friend that I had met the day before at the district day, the president-elect from Aptus. So it's nice to kind of have somebody else in your district, in your room, because I think those are the people you're going to see probably the most. But I only had one repeat from my president nominee to my president-elect year. Only one face was familiar other than those from our district. So you really do get to meet a lot of people. I have not yet talked to Stephen about this, but I met a guy from the Greenville, Texas Club. They do a Rotary Road Rally, and they have 600 riders. So, yes, I was like, please, show me your ways. So we're gonna have a Zoom meeting with Wes, and the person who coordinates his Rotary Rally, Katie, and we're gonna figure out some new tips on that. So, I just want to say, I didn't think about saying this until you said the facilitators. I've had great facilitators, especially this year. I think there are mixed reviews on that, just to be quite honest, but I have had really great facilitators my 2 years there. And it does make a difference in how the sessions are led and what you learn, because the most benefit that I have is listening to members of other clubs talk about fundraising, their membership challenges, just things that they do within their club that I was like, oh, good idea. Never would have thought of it on my own. So it's a great way to exchange ideas, get ideas. And I think that second year, I was a lot more comfortable because I had more knowledge about Rotary and what I was stepping into. That first year, I mean, I've never been short on words, but that first year I was a little bit more hesitant to share because I didn't really feel as prepared. I didn't know as much as I needed to know. But having that experience as nominee led me as president-elect to be able to feel more confident and comfortable in sharing ideas. I want to get back to how we need to get more familiar with the clubs around us. Just by happenstance, I was standing next to Elaine, who is the president-elect for Ada Sunrise. And we were just talking, actually we were in line to get our picture taken with President Mario. And I'm a little sad because Jeannie and Liz got their picture with President Mario and I did not. I just was not in the right place at the right time. But I was in the right place at the right time meeting Elaine. And we sat and talked, and she has Norman connections, and we were just chatting about how nice it would be to have lunch sometime, just compare notes and what their goals are for their club and their challenges, talk a little bit more in depth. And so we had exchanged contact information, planned to get together. And we hadn't been back very long when the tornadoes hit Ada. And I went to bed that night, got up the next day, went on with my daily whatever, and turned on the news that afternoon and was like, I had no idea that tornadoes had hit Ada. But I immediately texted Elaine and was like, what can our club do to help you? And I think that's what it's about. One of the things that I like at the conference is hearing the speakers. We also get to learn the theme. Liz's theme was the magic of Rotary. But they announced the new theme, and it is Unite for Good. You probably saw that in the pictures. I love that theme, and I think there's a lot that we can do with that. I'm looking forward to seeing how we build on that in the next year. Just a couple of things to wrap up. I do want to thank you for contributing to the efforts. We have given over $1,000 to the Ada Sunrise Club so that they can help with tornado relief efforts. We have also donated some toiletries, and we have one more trip to make down there with our last items. So I'll wrap there. We got her. Liz drove down with me, and we offloaded a truckload of supplies and a nice check. You would think that after 2 days of information overload at Pets, that the last thing we would want to talk about on our way home is Rotary. But the conversation between Liz and Jamie and I on the way home, we talked the whole way home about Rotary and how we wanted to see our club grow, things we wanted to do. Amazingly, we all line up pretty well with our goals for this club and how we want to see our club move forward. I've got big shoes to fill. Liz has done an amazing job. But I'm confident that exciting things are to come, and I'm glad y'all are here. So, again, just want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent this club at Pets twice, and thank you.
You're trying to make me cry. That was very sweet. Very kind words, thank you. And I also want to second her sentiments about the first year is overwhelming. You really don't get much downtime. It is definitely throwing all at you at once, continuously all day long. So, but it is so invigorating as well, and I hope y'all see that you put in the backing of us going down multiple years, and hopefully you can see that the leadership is really taking advantage of that and making our club, a vibrant club again, so, and in the years past, I mean, not just moving forward. So, thank you again for all of you being here today on spring break, thank you for making it out. Jill, we'll see you again soon, and Kyle, thanks for bringing your daughter. Thank you everyone, and have a great rest of your week, enjoy it. Very good.
Oh, yeah?
Don't forget about Rotary after hours, 5 o'clock, I'll see you at Senator Thackeray.
I forget it, he's a big leader, I can't have a lot of these. We should have a good idea of all these clubs from the foundation from around the state. Discussions about how you raise money and what.
That was always my favorite, was when they get together and talk about what's your fundraiser. You know, some of these clubs didn't do anything. Some of them, like, obviously we're not gonna do this, but these clubs, they would take people out on their yachts. Or dinner cruises where they're fishing boats and like first. They're raffle off your boat,